Welcome back to Charity Farms. So, today we are going to make homemade cheesecake. I'm actually going to use Annie's graham crackers for graham cracker crust, and I'll show you why in a minute. For the cheesecake, I'm actually taking it from another recipe, and I'll put that link below so you'll know, because I want to give credit to where credit is due. It's their recipe, not mine. But the only thing that I'm going to replace is, instead of sour cream, I'm going to use Greek yogurt. Greek yogurt and sour cream taste the same. However, I like Greek yogurt because you also get the blood cultures that you wouldn't get with sour cream. There is some sour cream out there that you can get the blood cultures, but I just prefer to do Greek yogurt. It's also a good treat for my dogs when I need to help out their tummies or just to give them a little bit of a nosh. So let's get started. The first thing I do need is 32 ounces of room temperature cream cheese and 4 large eggs at room temperature. So I'm already wondering if this is going to be 32 ounces or not. So it's 20.9 ounces is what this is telling me for this cream cheese. So I'm going to pull that out. This is just going to be all of what I'm going to use. So it's going to be room temperature. And then I just pulled these out of the freezer. I do have some of these. I'm going to go ahead and melt these two because this will make 16. So we'll say that's 21. That will be 29. So I will need 29 minus 32 will be, I need 33. I need 3 more ounces from this one. So, but these were frozen, so I gotta put them in the microwave and kind of defrost them a little bit so they can get at room temperature. So it's from sugarspunrun.com, and I'll make sure to link that below. So that's what I'm actually going to use. Now for graham crackers, I had a couple of options to choose from. I can make my own graham crackers, and I still plan on doing it, but I've never made graham crackers before. And I want to bring you along with me to do that, win or fail, so we can figure it out, what's already been made. You have a choice to use the natural honey-made graham crackers, but when you look at the ingredients, you're going to see it contains a bioengineered product. I don't want bioengineered food in my food. I'm already upset that there's preservatives in my food because preservatives are what's causing really the obese epidemic that we have right now. We didn't used to have this issue. And the reason why we have this issue is really because of the man-made preservatives. Now there is God-made preservatives, and that's what we use. God-made preservatives are salt, sugar, alcohol, fermentations. Those are God-made preservatives on how we do it. We can also preserve our stuff through pressure canning to remove all the air that would cause botulism, and also freezing. We have a little bit more details now on how to do that. I'm sorry, my cat's playing with my apron strings. So we don't want preservatives in our food. That's why we try to go natural. But we're also very busy, and going natural is unfortunately very expensive because unfortunately FDA, Big Pharma, all of them, they're in cahoots. So what they do is make the easier food with those really bad preservatives the cheaper way to go. It's also the most convenient and the easiest for families who are working 8-9 hour days, sometimes 10, and you just don't have the time. So I get it. It's very, very difficult. David and I have always had trouble with that. And I'm going to show you ways to actually work around it to actually have healthier food. But don't get mad when you decide that you need convenience. Give yourself grace. It's not that you can actually turn overnight and say, I'm going to make everything natural. It takes time. It takes patience. It takes obedience. It's trying to figure out the right balance for you and your family. This channel may not be the one that actually guides you. It might be another channel like Roots and Refuge, Acre Homestead, Whispering Willow. They're all good ones. They're the ones that got me started. Living Traditions. They might have a better way for you that would be easier for you, for your family. I just hope that, maybe I'm guiding you in the right direction. Right now we're going to make cheesecake. So what I'm using instead of the Honey Maid, Annie Bunny Grahams. That's what we're going to use. We'll use these instead. Because I can read all those ingredients. I know what they are. I trust Annie's. Annie's is organic. So we're going to use this instead. She said I need 1.5 cups of graham cracker crumbs. So we got to make crumbs. All right. A little less than half a cup because there's 8 tablespoons and half a cup of butter. I'm just going to melt this whole thing and use it. Extra butter is extra butter. So I need 1.5 cups of graham cracker crumbs. So I just used my food processor and poured that whole bag in here. And this is what I got. And it's crumbly. I think this is crumbly enough. It's nice and fine. That's what I'm looking for. So let's see if we can get 2 cups or 1.5 cups of that. So this is a 1/4 cup. So that's 1. 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. So I'm just going to go ahead and pour the whole thing in there because remember I have a little bit extra more butter. So I'm just going to pour it all in there. Why not? All right. So I need 2 tablespoons of sugar, 1 tablespoon of brown sugar, and 7 tablespoons of melted butter. So I don't buy brown sugar because you can make your own brown sugar, and I'd prefer to do that. So if you're going to make brown sugar, I'm not going to make some for this. It's basically the rule of thumb. It really just depends on your level of darkness. Is 1 tablespoon of molasses to 1 cup of sugar. If you want it darker, 2 tablespoons of molasses. If you want it lighter, 1/2 tablespoons of molasses per cup. 3 tablespoons of sugar. So I'm going to mix all this together, just kind of like make sure it's very well incorporated. So there we go. And then I did 1/2 cup of butter. So when it is melted, and now I'm just going to stir this up because really what you're looking for is a crumbly, wet texture, really. That's all it is. So you can use the spring form or you can use a pie dish. What I'm going to do is actually use a spring form. So I just get a pan and I put this on top of it with the parchment paper. That will protect anything from leaking, and if it gets in, if it goes any further, it will just get on the pan. No big deal. So I'm going to spray this pan, but I'm going to go ahead and spray it with nonstick. There you go. And then I'm going to go ahead and take my crumb base and pour it in here. Okay. What you're going to do is you're just going to smooth it around as much as you can, and then you're going to press it up, which I'll show you that trick in a minute. But right now I'm just pressing it down because you want it to really be pressed and compacted to keep it from cracking or breaking, and to really hold the form of the cheesecake when you put it in there. So, and she shows that in her video and why you do it. So that's good. So what she does is she actually gets a measuring cup, and she'll push it and bring it up against the side, like so. That's what I'm doing right here. So. And then just, just kind of. Remember, we measured this already. We weighed this out. So I'm going to empty my entire contents on this. And then we made sure we added the right amount that we needed right here. So those are going to get added as well. Okay. And make sure I also get it off of that, so it will actually. There you go. And she said make sure you scrape the sides and the bottom, because you want to make sure it gets everything incorporated. Okay. Do this a little bit longer here. All right, so I think that's good and nice and creamy. Okay. Add 1 cup of sugar until creamy. All right, so. And again, just make sure, she said, make sure that you're getting, scraping the sides. With me, it also means I gotta scrape my paddle. So. Okay. Until creamy. Yeah, it looks pretty creamy, but I gotta get the bottom of that really quick. Didn't want to get that. All right, let me get the bottom of this. All right, so now we need 2/3 cup of sour cream, which I'm actually going to use my Greek yogurt, 1.5 teaspoons of vanilla extract, and 1/8 teaspoon of salt. So basically, let me go ahead and get this going. So this is what I'm actually using for my sour cream, the whole milk Greek yogurt. Why do I love it? Because it will tell you the ingredients. Look at those life cultures. Those are the life cultures you want. So. Okay, so it's supposed to be 2/3, so here's 1. Oh, poopies. Some yogurt fell on my phone. There's 2/3. Okay. All right. And then I need 1.5 teaspoons of vanilla extract and 1/8 teaspoon of salt. So basically a pinch of salt. So, pinch of salt. This is a 1/2 teaspoon, so 3 of these. So, 1, 2, and 3. And then, let me blend that in really quick. And of course, I gotta get the bottom of it because we gotta get that. All that incorporated. Yeah, buddy. Okay. All right, now what we need is it's 4 beaten eggs, and basically we're supposed to make sure that, because we don't want to overbeat it, what she does is she takes the eggs and she cracks them individually. I don't think I'm that patient. And she does it 1 egg at a time and puts it in, but she beats them during that time. Well, I'm trying to minimize my dishes. I already have quite a few. So, all right, so what we're gonna do, once I get that, here you go. I'm gonna put this on low. Sorry, my dog. And then just gonna wait until it incorporates it. And then another one. I accidentally put 2 on at the first time, so let that incorporate. And then the last one, and let that incorporate. All right, now we're gonna pour all of this in here. Okay. I'm just trying to get all the cream cheese in here. So I do have some cream cheese chunks that didn't really blend in as well, but that's okay. So what we're gonna do is just smooth it out. There you go. Okay. Cook this at 325 Fahrenheit or 160 degrees Celsius for 50 to 60 minutes or longer as needed. The edges will likely have a slightly puffed and may have just begun to turn a light golden brown, and the center should spring back to the touch, but it will still be jello jiggly. So, and then she has a warning, don't overbake or the texture will suffer, which means we all suffer. That's cute, we all do. All right, so I'm gonna put it in my oven and bake it for, put my timer on for 50 minutes, and while I'm doing that, I'm making dinner. So, oh buddy. Oh. All right, so I just pulled this out of the oven. As I told you, my spring form is not the greatest. That's why I put it on this pan. It's kind of like jiggly wiggly. I don't know if you can see that or not, but it's jiggly wiggly. We'll see if it's done. It's not really golden brown around the sides, but definitely jiggly wiggly. It's like jello. Blah 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 blah. And it's not sticking. So I guess that's it. So I'm gonna turn this off. I'm gonna wait 10 minutes, and then I'm gonna cut the sides because she said you want to keep it on the warmest spot while it cools off. So we'll keep it from cracking, although I already got some cracks, but I'm not worried about that. I'm like, that's my first attempt. It's awesome. So we'll see what happens. I'm gonna wait 10 minutes, put my timer on for 10 minutes, and I'm gonna come back through and just cut off the sides a little bit, not remove my spring form side yet, but just allow it to, like, when it starts to cool off, she said it will pull in and start to shrink, and that will allow that a chance to pull in without making it crack. So, all right, do that. So, there we go. So we're gonna go ahead and open it. There's my spring form. Oh, that looks pretty. So, there you go. So what I gotta do now is I just need to make my reduction. I have some strawberries. I'm gonna make some reduction, and I'm gonna pour it over this, and this will be our cheesecake. So I don't want to dive into it yet. We'll all experience it on Christmas Day.
The cream cheese still needs a topping. We've already put it in the fridge, but what we're going to do is we're going to go ahead and make a strawberry reduction. And then I'm going to dress it with pretty strawberries that have been sitting in like a syrup or a sugar for a while to make it nice and sweet and look really, really pretty, because we do eat with our eyes. So what you're going to need for your reduction, it's actually really simple. For a reduction of any fruit, it's a pound of fruit. You'll have 1/3 cup of sugar and a splash of vanilla and a splash of lemon extract or lemon juice. And that's actually what keeps it nice and bright. That's pretty much your reduction. You're going to just cook it until it gets nice and thick and becomes like a sauce. That is a reduction. To make a syrup, for the most part, that's actually relatively easy. That, again, that's just, you know, a pound of fruit to 1/3 cup sugar, and I'd still do a splash of lemon and maybe a vanilla extract if you wanted to. Try to keep the flavors the same, but instead of cooking it, you're going to let it set, and then that becomes a syrup because it will pull out those pretty colors of that fruit. So I already have my fruit reductions right here, and I've already cut it. I've already cored it and cut it, so we're about to take this to the stove, and we'll put all that stuff in there. And then I have a pound of strawberries that I've cored them, but I'm going to cut them, and you'll come along with me because I want them to look pretty. I want them to have a more uniformity and look prettier because they're going to be the ones that are actually on top of the cheesecake itself. So let's get started. To make it easier for me, I'm just putting 1/3 cup of sugar into the strawberries right there. And I'm going to do a splash of lemon juice. About 2 splashes. Same thing with the vanilla extract. And because this is sugar, you want to continuously stir it so that it does not burn. You want to keep it on low heat. Alright, so I have a glass bowl with a snap top lid. We're going to go ahead and pour it in here so it gives it a chance to cool. So, there you go. And as it cools, it'll get thick. No, or a thicker consistency. Because it still needs to be pourable because it's going to be cake sauce. So now I have my cutting board. I have another glass container, snap lid. These are my prettier strawberries. We're gonna dice these up, or not dice them, we're gonna slice them and put them in here. So, and again, I'm just making them pretty, so I want them to be thin. They're gonna lay flat. Today, we are going to dress this cheesecake with the strawberry slices that we actually put in a sugar syrup. I'm about to show you that. Here's our strawberry sauce. Or I'm sorry, not the sauce, but the strawberries. As I said, the sugar will actually pull that out and it'll make it look really pretty. Grab a spoon. And I'm just gonna try to lay it out as even as possible. Make it look pretty. And this is our sauce. I told you it would thicken in the fridge, so I was going to show you what it looks like. See how it's nice and jelly-like? That is a good reduction, and that will be good for the sauce just to put on each cheesecake. So, and taste test. It's that good sweetness without it being too sweet. It's perfect. So the family will enjoy it.
Thank you so much for joining me with Charity Farms and how you make cheesecake. I normally make cheesecake without eggs, but my husband requested a cheesecake with eggs. That's why I had to look that recipe up. And if you like cheesecake with eggs, it's a very good recipe and it's very filling. It has a lot of good healthy fats, so I would highly recommend it. I normally make cheesecake with just lemon juice, sugar, vanilla extract, and cream cheese. I don't bake it. I blend it. I make sure it's nice and creamy, and then I put it into my crust to set in the fridge overnight. And that's my cream cheese. Or I'm sorry, that's my cheesecake recipe. I will make my version of cheesecake sometime in the near future. There are so many things that I want to show you, but we'll get there. But if you're one who likes cheesecake with eggs, I highly recommend this recipe. Thank you so much for joining me at Charity Farms. As you can see, the spokes cat right there in the, let's see if I can point to it. Her. There's our spokes cat right there. She wishes you well, and so do I. Thank you for joining. You have a wonderfully blessed day. Bye.